Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious. Molly is happy when Moors are happy. Vixens wink fake lashes trying to trap me. 40 days and nights battling the lower demons. This is not their land, hybrids can't be freemen. If this is not their land, who's the immigrant thinking they're sovereign? Imagination figment, recessive is their status, lacking pigment. Game for the Thanksgiving, but no commitment to indigenous Moors they conquered with Bibles. Signs in the vitals and signs in the cycles, only to strangle, embracing my rivals. Free national standards, not playing with the tribals. Each Moor is their own Christ, not disciples. Whether hands or thoughts, no worshiping idols. Always carry my Moorish Quran, no recitals. Everyone will not process ancients' arrivals. Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Innate mystic ability to show and prove a lesson, coupled with the agility to move you with the message, presence of divine mind to navigate you with a reference, urgent with a purpose, perfect. Emerging urban legends, real more is not a question or a choice or a preference. You are who you are, you should have the same obsession. Broke the same jewels to a dude, the corner, Jane and Western. What you reppin', all that effort, that direction, keep you separate in a world of blind sheep. I was born to be a shepherd, mind like an elephant. Got the paws of a leopard, means I'm wise and I'm strong. Crank you up like I'm a record, take you to the body shot, correct your lines to true vector manifestations. Matter, energy, and mind, spirit men unsung. Trey Young dropping dimes until you tighten up, you catching splinters from the pine. Clean the clouds out your thoughts, that's what keep you in the bind.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Northgate, H2O Flow, Sheik, Canaanland Moors, Release Fall, Shalon Davis, hello. Hot house. Check it. They say they wanna learn, they only debate. Referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound the grace. Any nationality before you question my estate. I'm not a minority, why you so late? Majority rules, here comes the test. Fact, that's my hand in the form of a feet on the chest. That's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a Moor that is easy to digest. Competent, never tyrannous. That is my land, never faking. Sacred traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. If you please more, following the apostles, we should read more. I see the unseen more, we more. That's a fact. Canaanland.
They say they want to learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling haram when the bottles are uncorked. Eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning.
eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got him cocooning as the full moon hung spiral energy moving up through the crown chakra, energy shooting, and told me upload classes before live YouTubing. 16,000 subscribers, 20% consuming, 80% troll pretending to be tuned in. Comment on every video, pushing the thumbs down. We'll push the link when we live just like a clown. Pouring in the incompetence, always debating. Dissing Drew Ali, but won't give their location. His image on the black banner, that's placation. Just get him out of here, Yusuf yells in frustration. We know they're playing games, we're not berating. Calling 911, scimitars penetrating. In defense of prophets and mothers abused. And newly awakened Moors, amused and confused.
Man, I see the strongest and smartest men who've ever lived. I see all this potential. I see squandered. God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables. Slaves with white collars.
Marcus Garvey got my right, Drew Ali got my left side. Hook pulling for devil's hides with the valley of death stride. Blade dirty like it doesn't shower, tongue is the sword. Moorish master MC Moore, I self am Lord. Accent of Tony Martin and Kwame Ture. They poison Steve Coakley, exposing the black boule. Threatening Ivan Van Sertima with deportation. To his own land he's in, so you know some Masons are pulling strings to shut him up for saying Olmecs. Speaking the truth of those existing before Toltecs and Aztecs and Mayan. So-called blacks are the Hawaiian and the American and the free white man. Stop the blood clot crying. Irish nigga fighting a dancing monkey. Disgrace the race, slap a mumble rap junkie. Take your mask off, show you the future, give you nervous sweats. Listen to yourself singing about Molly and Percocets.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes. Working jobs we hate, so we can buy shit we don't need.
I see y'all wearing skinny jeans and sagging and sports bra shirts. Calling Hochi to bury them in Calgary far outskirts. Too grizzly to bear. I fear falling off this frisbee, I swear. Never mind sight impaired, stay on my square. 7 and 4 quadrant ring. I'm on my knees not praying. I'm strangling gin with rude raksha beads. Some might say mala, some might call it a Buddhist chain. In times of war, everything is a weapon just the same as everything above has a below. Check the facts in stone, or if you can find one, ask a pharaoh. What Orion and Sirius have to do with the plateau of Giza. Ancestors thought project place to place like Freezer. More scientists, Sufi, shut up or down believers. Make those with little faith become ancestral receivers. Through signs and symbols, rhymes and signals. Either abandon or get your birthright like a retriever. Abandon or get your birthright like a retriever. No need to bring it back, you need no shepherd. Stop being a sheep, black, stop wasting effort. Stop letting traders chill, drop them off in deserts. I buzz at dinner, a sellout, before I get the hell out. I listen to what Drew Ali taught, he didn't have to yell out. Ref, bring the bell out, Shango, the chicken heads out. Merge shaman stones and tiger eyes, help the spell out. Cool Bay, the reason El Shabazz and Ali fell out. Moors disgruntled and watching people with brows crumble to be exalted, but praise themselves, never humble. Begging for props, wanting segregation by calling the cops, then calling them racist after someone gets shot or beat to a pulp or choked out. R.I.P. Their ancestors let your devil self haunt their dreams. Tortured forever and ever, have peace never. So low, make their head hurt with biometric pressure.
Little children of history, man. No purpose, place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes it a little lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. And over to our in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali Craig, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile, reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real, all I see is false evidence, DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants, more like no prejudice but want Moorish benefits, when you feel the cold magnetic resonance, Apis horns of the sacred book all maleficent, great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence, ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again, use energy right, not put spell effects on men, wandering the earth plane with no they live shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades, it's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets, holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday, war ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts with Moors, they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the combo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Morris science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again.
This is what it feels like. 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 People run
running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts with Moors, they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the combo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take more science to the highways and hedges, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again. Remain cautious, cause often they sin again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge, you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Islam Moors. Islam to all. Welcome. Canaanland Moors Q&A Wednesday. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. All the Moors who eventually gonna get here. Honors to all the Moors for their questions. Supreme honors. Oh, we got one already. We'll save this then. Since we got one. We'll save that. First question. Should Moors celebrate Native American Heritage Month? Well, considering that we're Moors every month, just considering, if we're Moors every month, and we know that, Native American is some crap, and Black is some crap, what else do they play around with? Who else has Heritage Months? I know the Asians got theirs. So there's people who really only get 1 month. We get every month. So when we talk about celebrating things, as far as events, just check who started saying let's celebrate this. And if you go check and you realize that they're not really the ones you should be, then I wouldn't be celebrating their stuff. Because there's some stuff that you might hear people celebrate, but you're not gonna go to. It's not Not out of hate or anything like that. Just not your thing. You don't have to partake. So you have to just embrace that everything came from you. So either you're gonna do nothing or you're gonna do everything. Either or. Whether you sit back, do nothing, or you get active, they're gonna do whatever it is that they're gonna do still, regardless of what you do. So just know that when you talk about celebration, it's supposed to be a honoring going on. It's supposed to be some type of honors. Now, considering what they've done to so-called Native Americans and all that stuff, and continue to do to this day, just like how they do stuff to the blacks and the coloreds and everybody else who gets violated, because they want to play. Well, since we're celebrating whatever, that means that we're free. That means that we're able to do. No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't. Because there's no honor there. If these people are violating treaties and all that stuff, there's no honor. What justice system? What honor? Are they honorable? You just complaining about they choke somebody out. They knee in the neck somebody. And now you're talking about honor? They're gonna do something honorable. So if there's no honor there, it's not a celebration. Somebody's just playing games, riding people's emotions. And they're gonna feed good too, because you know how our people get when it's time to celebrate. You already know how our people get. And I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't look like there's chat access unless everybody's just chilling and nobody's even in the chat. And then don't forget the side of self-determination and creating your own stuff to celebrate. Forget what they're celebrating. Find something in your own culture and celebrate that. Find something in your own culture, whatever it is. Just like the Moors on the weekend celebrate Eden, so we have a cookout every year to give honors to the Moors. We'll be there from this time to this time. There's the containers, there's the forks, there's the spoons, and there's the food. And we're honoring the Moors. And they can come get fat all day. You want fruits? Got that. You want water? Got that. Oh, you like to do it? You need some ice? You got a little something else over there? You do some ice? We got ice. Don't worry. I'm not gonna hate on you because you're still under your trauma. Not gonna hate. Gonna do our best. At least even if it's for one day, for Moors to be together. Moors to be around each other. Should be every day. And the Asians have to go to nationality meetings and all that stuff to learn about their birthrights and all that. How come? What they know that our people are out to lunch on? There was a few questions in the email. So we'll get to those. Once again, check that starred message right there. If you have any questions, put it in all caps in the chat. The question's yours. The answer's mine. So feel free. What is If you have any questions, just put it in all caps. Let's see. What is the historical geographical argument regarding Al Morocco or Amexem in Moorish sovereignty teachings? Well, the geography aspect part of it is recognizing that there's a farthest west Morocco. There's a farthest west. Farthest west Morocco. As far as the Moorish sovereignty teachings, because we have a red flag with a green 5-point star that's 50,000 years old, we have sovereignty. And 50,000 years compared to time of other people's flags, I would think we have supreme sovereignty. No, it's not exercised like that. Right? They pluck this bird. Right? So there's no sovereignty like that. Right? They pluck this bird. The sovereignty that everybody else is using is based off of what we've been doing for 50,000 years. Right? Establishing what society is supposed to be, from the highest spiritual, intellectual perspective to the lowest. There was, when I knew it was real, it was 2008 on the bus, leaving Mecca and heading back to Canaanland. And there was a building right near the border. There was a building near the border. At the top of the building, the very top of the building, it said Amexem Inc. on the building. This is at anybody who's near Detroit, or you could even go and research it, because I had to go check and then I realized that it's real. Right. Some company named Amexem Inc. that they had a building downtown Detroit somewhere near the border. The border going to Windsor. That's what I knew. Noble Drew Ali knew exactly what he's talking about. Because how are we leaving just connecting with the Moors, finding out about all this, right? And there are Maxims on a building. What more validation is needed? And then years later, you get a call because this Moor's tripping out because he's with a Palestinian Arab. And the Palestinian Arab knows that America is part of Morocco. Just go, Canaanland Moors take your place among the affairs of men. Let's go look that up. So this confusion that people have with regard to Moors and America, Morocco, Africa, a Maxim, this confusion that people have is because they ain't listened to what Noble Drew Ali told them. Because they were put on game. He didn't leave people in the dark. He told what you needed to know so you can figure this thing out. He told enough. Just the mention of a Maxim is him telling enough. Just the mention. A Maxim, land of your forefathers and all that. How come nobody else is talking about this a Maxim? It's real interesting that he's the only reference point and this company. But apparently everybody knows, even though it's not out there like that. Because as soon as you realize that Morocco is an empire, not just some kingdom, and Fez is not just some city or something like that, you'll see how important it is to take what Noble Drew Ali brought serious. And that everything was laid down. It was all laid down. All you have to do is get down with the program. But no, don't want to do that. Would rather do their own thing and carry on in the confusion state opposed to being in the competent state to know what's going on. And really know what's going on without any, there's no need for discussion because we know what's going on. You're not going to play people who study. And the amount of research all these different Moors have done just in their research from a Maxim to Morocco, America, and the connection. The fact that this is a global idea. Asia is a global idea. All the people that identify as Asiatic, how come they don't have a color in front of it? How come they don't say yellow Asiatic, brown Asiatic? How come only certain dummies are going to tell you about black Asiatics? And then act like they're dropping something deep. Once you tie yourself as Moorish American to this red flag with the green 5-point star, you're connecting yourself to a global idea. And then once you figure that out, then you're going to realize that this is divine and national. And that red flag and green star isn't some earth stuff either. So no, without a shadow of a doubt, that the world is very familiar with America being the land of the Moors. They're familiar with Africa being a fraud. And over there is Al-Kebalan or Amexem. And it's a global idea. And it's only these dummies that want to keep playing the game. They don't want to do it the Moorish anything. But anything else, or they're going to run to that and go be that before they be Moors. Those are the hard-headed stiff-necked. They're going to learn at the point of a sword or some other way. And then after that happens, then they're going to be blaming somebody instead of taking some responsibility and holding themselves accountable. People love making this hard. This is not supposed to be hard. This is birthright. This is blinking. How's blinking hard? What do you mean it's hard to blink? What do you mean? Someone asks, what is the point of proclaiming your nationality? Drew said, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people about their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are not Negro, Black, Colored, or Ethiopian, because these names are slave names. So the point of proclaiming your nationality is so that you're not a slave. Because with nationality, if somebody enslaves you, now you could do something about it. Because you're out of the dead status. You're in full life now. You're living. So you might as well proclaim your nationality since you're living. You're dead before. Negro, Black, Colored, all that stuff, you're dead. So why would you care about nationality? Nationality, people only care about nationality when they're about to get 800 tickets. Then they want to be Moors. Before that, when everything was good and nothing, eating their mac and cheese and all that stuff, oh, nothing. They didn't worry about Moors. As soon as the colonial tax people start pressing on them, now they're Moors. Now they know about nationality and status and birthrights and all that. All of a sudden. So there is a point, but that point is for the one who's experiencing. You have to find out what the point of proclaiming your nationality is. So no one's experience is going to explain that to you. No one's experience is going to explain that to you. You have to proclaim your nationality to know what the point is. And again, taking the side of honoring your foremothers and forefathers is very noble. you could release a lot of karmic debt by proclaiming your nationality. Because you're admitting the error, not just on some paper or some card or something like that, but with self. How do you be in something you're not? How do you be in something you're not? Not somebody else making you do it. You be in something that you're not. Because all Moors know from a very young age, they stopped and knew something's up. I don't know what's up, but something's up. All those who proclaim their nationality, they'll tell you. Go ask them. At a young age, people are looking at them like, yo, man, something's up with you, huh? You're not like the other little pickaninnies running around here, are you? Something's different with you. And then by the time they got to nationality, when they trace back, they realize that they've been on this ever since. The only thing that was missing was the nationality. And then they go into their 2-year hatred of all the nigger, black, colored, African, whoever leaders that didn't say jack about this. That we had to go through all this BS to find out when all these people knew what was up. So there's a lot going on with proclaiming your nationality. There's a lot of different levels of healing that's happening. Because being in the dead status, jeez, you don't want that. And you're seeing the dead status playing out every day, every day. The repetition is in your face. And then if you go in this chat and you pull 10 Moors out of this chat, and then you ask them, what's the point of proclaiming nationality? They're going to tell you 5 hours of from their perspective. And it's going to have nothing to do with what I'm telling you. We have a whole different perspective. Because it's really about the experience of it. That's the point, to experience it, to know what it is, difference between being a nigger and being someone with a nationality. Everywhere you go, they're treating you like nigger or treating you like you have a nationality. And you can go talk to all these Moors in the chat, and all of them will tell you when they tried it out, tested out for themselves, the nigger treatment versus the prince treatment and all that. Not the singer prince, like the royalty treatment. So there is a point. There definitely is a point. But what you're going to get from proclaiming your nationality, I can't tell you anything about that. Can't tell you anything about that. Why is unity harder today than the 1920s or 60s? I don't think it's harder. I don't think it's harder. I think people just have too much options right now of what's right. In the 60s, there was the militant conscious, but then there was also the non-violent conscious. It's like they didn't know, didn't have, they didn't just get off the plantation yesterday. They were going to school and all that stuff. They were getting their knowledge, getting law degrees and all this. It's like nothing was going on. And then when the call was made, all of them are going to go run over there and go line up and go march and picket and the problem still remains, the Negro problem, which the Negro problem, is the comma, black, comma, colored, comma, Indian, comma, Hebrew, comma, and you could just make the list. And then all of them are going to be able to go to the whatever and say, yeah, unity. But then the conditions are getting worse. Obviously, that uniting isn't doing jack. They need to regroup or something, because the stuff what they're talking about is not working. And then as far as the 20s, you had no options. You're either a coon, sellout, or you're with your people, because they were fresh out. They knew that they had to fend for themselves. And, as we know, with all the different communities that we had that was ran by us, but then you find out 100 years later that, oh, what do you mean there's a community under that lake? What do you mean there's people buried under that city? Stuff got crazy. Get it out the way, because we didn't have a status. If you're free, then you shouldn't be in a dead status. If you're free, and if you're a dead status, you can't be talking about free. Ask Dred Scott. Because you can't do that. You can attempt, you can try. The only unity is nationality. That's what Drew Ali figured out in the 20s. That's what was gonna happen when they let Marcus Garvey out for his $3 mail fraud. You think he wasn't gonna change everything up or bring everybody over to the Moorish movement? Drew Ali told you, I traveled in the South and examined the conditions there. And it's the works of my people, not anybody else. It's the works of my people, clinging to names that allude to slavery when they're supposed to know better. They're free, aren't they? Aren't they conscious and all that stuff? They know their self. They went to lectures and all that stuff. So what's going on? Where's your nationality? Well, we don't need that because that's all right. The BS continues then. We'll be here. We'll be here waiting for these people to get their ish together. Because we already have a nation. We have a flag. It's 50,000 years old. What more you want? You need something more than that to be a nation? No one could put their flag to the Moorish flag. Anybody claiming that they're whatever it is that they're making the claim that they are. Why do they come under the Moorish banner? No, they don't want to do that. Because their master teacher didn't say we're Moors. Oh, you said you're dead. You said you're dead and then you're going with that? Crazy. They asked, how is America really Morocco? At one time, America and what they call Africa was connected. Just like how Asia and Africa is connected. At one time it was all connected. And everybody was everywhere. Noah Drew Ali talks about the great earthquake that caused the great Atlantic Ocean. Whatever the cataclysm was, now there's an ocean. So these people who were once together, now they're separated by an ocean. Noah Drew Ali said that the dominion and inhabitation, so these people, so the inhabitation of the people and the dominion, the land of these people, extended from over there to over here. So when they ask the question about how is America really Morocco, you should also be asking, how is America really Moab? How is America really Memphis? How is America really Canaanland? How is America really? But you don't ask for those ones. You only ask for Morocco, which lets you know that somebody's putting game on you to make Morocco be the thing that stands out that isn't over here. But everything else is over here, and there's no question in any of those other things over here. Zero questioning. Zero. Only the Morocco stuff is getting questioned. There's even China over here. No question. Anything having to do with Moors, there's going to be red flags and questions and all that stuff all of a sudden. Right? They let us be everything that we want. As soon as you start saying that we're Moors, now they want to start. Hold on, where were you people when we were saying we're Negro black colored? They're chilling with us saying that we're that. There's no campaign out there trying to convince you that you're not black, guys, other than the Moorish paradigm, which they have a campaign to try to convince you that you're not Moors. But they don't have a campaign to convince you you're not Negro black colored and all the other crap that you're claiming. Only Moors do that. Only Moors say, nah, you're not those stuff. So America really is Morocco. The key is, always remember, what they call Morocco today is a kingdom. And a kingdom is under an empire. Kingdom doesn't stand on its own. There has to be an empire for there to be a kingdom. The king of Morocco, kingdom, Morocco's over there. Morocco is also over here. Moab is over there. It is also over here. This is why when you hear the so-called Africans complaining about Asians going over there and doing this and doing that, because that's really South Asia. That's not Africa only. That's also South Asia. So Asians have jurisdiction there just as much as some so-called African. That's why the African's going to run back to their jurisdiction. And they don't play their continent game. But when they do that, that's Berlin Conference. They're playing themselves. Which is why Asians have jurisdiction. Because they're saying that's Asia. You can't come into Africa and do that. No, we can't. But we can go into Asia and do that. We come into Asia and we'll get you. Take all your stuff. Right? They say in the occult teachings that the Atlantic Ocean is a mirror that reflects both sides. It's the same spot. It's one landmass. Right. They also ask, what is status? I have them listening while we're in the greenhouse. A good place to be. Two for your boy. So status, let's get that one up. So we'll look at it like this. There's civilly dead, and there's in full life. Those are statuses. Remember, in full life, civilly dead. In full life, civilly dead. Let's keep that in mind as we go through this. The status of a person in his legal position or condition. Position or condition. Condition. Caste system. White or black. Condition. Thus, when we say that the status of a woman after a decree for the dissolution of her marriage with her husband has been made, but before it has been made absolute, is that of a married woman, we mean that she has the same legal rights, liabilities, and disabilities as an ordinary married woman. The term chiefly applied to persons under disability or persons who have some peculiar condition which prevents the general law from applying to them in the same way as it does to ordinary persons. So again, status, persons, which could mean corporations, and then natural persons, which only deals with sentient beings, living, breathing beings. So you have to figure out what side you're going to be on. Are you going to be on the side of nationality, which is a status, or are you going to be on the side of wardship, which is a status? And you probably don't want to be somebody's ward. So I'm thinking that there's an obvious choice. This shouldn't be hard to figure out once you know status. And then you apply that to everything. Go to the restaurant, status. You're the man. So you're the customer. No matter what. Once you're not violating the store and causing a ruckus, you have supreme power. Not to abuse and all that stuff. Because you can lose that status quick. Because that's not your spot to be swinging from the chandelier. Do that at your house. And then they drop your status, and then they call you and throw you out and all that stuff. Now you're in that status now because you violated. And then if you be good, then you give them a good tip because they did their job properly and all that stuff. Then you get a little more status. Status always applies. Sometimes people abuse their status, right? The one bus driver stopping the bus for 10 cents or something like that, like abusing their status, making people late for work because of 10 cents. And serious too. It has the bus in park and all that stuff. He's not moving and all this. There are certain rights and duties with certain capacities and incapacities to take rights and incur duties by which persons as subjects of law are variously determined to certain classes. So as soon as you say black guy, African, Indian, that they already know that's minority. Certain language, they already know. Oh, that's minority. We gotta hear anything that they're saying. But let them talk though. Don't shut them up. Let them talk, let them march, let them do whatever it is that they gotta do. Pretend like they're not there. And then people start getting mad. The people treating them like Karen and all this stuff like that when that's not what's going on. You're in a dead status. That's the problem. That's the issue. Being in a dead status. Knowing the truth about your nationality and your birthrights is so that you can get out of the dead status. And know the truth. Know the truth. Got questions, put it in all caps. What modern issue would Drew Ali say requires urgent unity? Oh, the economic security. If we took our finance and put it all to our own stuff instead of putting it to every foreigner, we wouldn't be having any issues. And that could happen tomorrow. So you already know we got the $1 trillion spending power and all that stuff. But our people like to buy BS. Our people like to support their enslavement. So of course slave master is going to be the one taking advantage. If our people, right, this issue of our people not having, everybody else has except our people. And then the only people of our people who have are the ones who, they're sucking something or selling their self or giving up their ass or whatever. That's the only way you're going to be something. Let's go ask them. If they're honest, they'll tell you. And then you could just look in their eyes and see the torment that they're under. Having to do some BS. I would say that would be, but again, if Drew Ali was around, then that means he would have been here from 1930, so there wouldn't be no issues for him to put anything to. There's going to be no issues. There were no issues in 1920s when he was around. What were the issues Moors were dealing with? And then Drew Ali's around now with us Moors around. You have no issues. You would have no issues whatsoever. Because a lot of these modern issues come from the Negro problem. Remember, the Negro problem is a ripple effect. The only issue is our people are the only ones affected. Nobody else takes that Negro black color stuff seriously. I know black, papi. Nobody takes that stuff seriously. Everybody's FOH for that Negro black colored stateless stuff. It's only our people embracing that BS. You know? That's why you see all these whoever's popping up and saying about, you know, how you know, if the black man would only get his stuff together and he could save us and all that stuff. Yeah, right. Not as black, he can't. But you know, a lot of them are foreigners. They took deals to not talk to you, just make finance off you. They took deals just so they could be in other people's land and make finance off you. That same $1 trillion spending power. Now we seem to just don't know where it goes and all that stuff. You know, nobody else has this issue. People have their own blood bank and all that stuff, and we're talking about how do we unify our people. They knew exactly what they were doing, getting Drew Ali out the way, bringing in certain imposters, talk about they're the Mahdi and all this crap, instead of sticking with the program of what was laid down that worked. Not like it didn't work. What was laid down and worked. And these people don't want to implement it when it worked. This is the weirdest thing. Stuff worked, and these people, they don't want it. They don't want that. Why must groups today hold themselves accountable for past COINTELPRO infiltration? Only if them holding themselves accountable means they're not going to sell out anymore. But from what we've seen, selling out is what these people do. So it's really the people having to hold them accountable for being COINTELPRO infiltrators. Not parade around with them and hold them up like trophies. The people should be looking at the past COINTELPRO people. Now that we got information at our fingertips and whatever like that, everybody should know who the sellouts are. Should be very obvious who the sellouts are. You know, it should be. Just because. Imagine that. These people sold out. They infiltrated. Oh yeah, honors to them, because, without them, we wouldn't be here because they sacrificed, whatever. Our people love sellouts. The problem. Right? The people. Because some of these groups today are the COINTELPRO. They're the COINTELPRO. Because we already know, as soon as they start playing Negro, black, colored Indian games, they're sent. They're sent. They have a duty to make sure the people stay confused and not figuring this out. which was figured out in the 1920s with Noble Drew Ali, letting us know who the sellouts were. Letters to be read every meeting and all that, calling out all these traitors to their face. They're not Moors, they're robbers and all that. And what's going on today? People still getting robbed today by their own. $80 for water. And people are buying like they're a big dummy. Crazy. $80 for water. $200 notes for a rag. That's not some exploitation of our people, our people's incompetence. What is? But selling out the holes, no, they don't. Selling out doesn't have any bounds. They'll do anything once they're a sellout, once they're a trader. They'll do whatever. Don't hold it past them. Know that majority of them sold out. Majority sold out. Majority. And they're still around today. Still around. What does it take to naturalize or nationalize? What does it take to nationalize? If we're talking about self, it takes knowledge. If we're talking about resources, it takes a governmental position. Some individuals aren't going to nationalize the resources. But again, all those things are only going to happen if you're dealing with your government. So depends on what we're nationalizing. But if we're talking about the people, that's knowledge. Right? What it takes to proclaim your nationality is getting the knowledge of what that is. That's what the whole point of Moorish Science Temple was. Because with us, you must proclaim your nationality. And once you proclaim your nationality, now you're going to learn the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. And then once you know that, then you'll know that you're not Negro, black, colored, and all that stuff. And then your father will take care of the household, and mothers will obey the husbands and take care of the children, and everybody's going to be drinking water, staying healthy, and don't have any issues. So to get out the dead status, you have to go through that process. Judicial proclamation, identification, something showing that you're not connected to the wardship or the slave. So it's really about knowing. Knowing is what it takes. It takes sacrifice. It takes I'm gonna buy this book instead of some other BS that I was gonna buy. Get knowledge. And again, if we're talking about the resources, then there's the government that's going to start making claims as the authority. Start making claims. So when Drew Ali made the claim that this is the Moroccan Empire in the 1920s, he went forth by assisting Oscar the Priest to get in office. And there's newspaper articles with Oscar the Priest thanking the Moors. Because if it wasn't for the Moors, he wouldn't have won. And then you go check his record, and you'll see he started pushing constitutional enforcement and studying the Constitution and all that. So and then once the government's back, then people who have been pretending to be government would have to go back to where they're from to run their government, because they can't do it when in land that has government already. Which is why the game is to keep our people Negro, black, colored, Ethiopian, and everything else. So we can't have our own government, so we can't make our claim and take our stuff back. Because people want to be Indians. What is the best that can happen by being passive, or is there anything good about being passive? Well, the passive approach without a nationality, you're wasting time, because they're not active anyways. Even if they think that they're active, just because of their status, they're passive. But if we're talking about Moors, people who have this information, they shouldn't be passive, because they're supposed to be inspired with the information. But they're not supposed to have this information and then be passive. And when we look at activity is on multiple degrees. Activity is many different aspects equate to activity. So there's really no way for people to be passive unless they really don't have any interest. They have no interest in this. They're content. There's nothing that could come out from a passive Moor. Moors should be active in something, whatever it is. Of course, by the principles and honorable, not just active in any type of BS. How do you naturalize? Do we have anything to do with that? The only individuals who do that, naturalize, are foreigners and Temple 13 Baltimore. So Temple 13 does the naturalize process. U.S. Corps, Canada Corps do the naturalize process. All that immigration stuff that people are complaining about is the naturalized process. The problem is that they're a corpse. They're not government. It's not really naturalization. They're just creating more wards to get rid of the original wards, which is our people. Because they know that those people are going to take their 13 an hour or 17 an hour, and then they'll be quite content with their minimum wage, because 50 of them will live in one spot. Right, so 50 of them live in one spot. The minimum wage is pretty good, right? And all they're eating is peas and rice, right? Curry, that ain't nothing. Curry ain't costing them nothing. Rice, that. And they're gonna go to their grocery store to go get their rice and their curry and all that stuff. So they're putting their stuff back into their own, with the stuff that we're supposed to be doing. But then we don't want to go to the West Indian grocery store because it's expensive. And then Right? So the naturalize is for the foreigners. Indigenous people don't naturalize. We don't have anything to do with naturalize. And all that's foreign activity. Where would you say mothers are underrepresented within the Moorish movement? Within the Moorish movement, underrepresented. I mean, I would say everywhere, because there should be way more. There should be way more Moorish women out there who know that they're Moorish women. Right? And we know from experience, from doing lectures and putting together events and whatever like that, doing classes, etc. It's majority brothers that's going to be there. And what the sisters are doing, what they're distracted by, and all that stuff like that, that's to be figured out. But the ones who are in the know, they could only do so much. They're tapped out. There's so much to do. They're tapped out. And then whatever other issues that women have that have nothing to do with men and all that stuff, they figure that stuff out. They could be represented some more. Because really they should be able to like when we look at from the teaching aspect, very few women. Very few. On the teaching side. If we're looking at from the going about and putting the information out in some type of way, right? Whether in their activity or whatever it is. I don't know if they do it as much as the men do it. And again, it could be a duty thing. That might not be their duty to be putting it out. There maybe the expectations should be in another direction with regard to the women, in order for them to be inspired to see their part in this and then play that role. Like even when you look at the convention pictures and all those, you see some women in the front, but other than them, who are these other women? Other than the leadership women. But again, all this too is by design, because the patriarchy doesn't want women as the head. So it's going to be a constant underrepresentation. A constant underrepresentation. Yeah. Oh, I see you. Islam, more.
Islam, more.
What you said?
What's that word, man?
Yo, we're here. We're
Yes,
here.
sir.
Say you got done.
Yeah, I just wrapped up in the shop just now.
For real.
What's that word?
That's
yes,
what's
sir.
Up. I don't
just now. What's that?
I don't know if you can see the question down there, but the one that we're on right now, where would you say mothers are underrepresented within the Moorish movement?
Mothers are underrepresented. Yeah, I mean, that's a wild question because I was just thinking about something like that. You don't see, you don't see that the agenda is to keep the woman from reconnecting on all points. So when I see the Moorish movement, we're the only ones that's pretty much pushing for the woman to be uplifted. Because without the woman, the other half ain't gonna be uplifted. It could be no nation. So as far as anybody else that's saying, we need the unity and all of that, ain't none of them really talking about uplifting the woman. Like I see how more science do. From NOI to Pan Africans to Hebrew Israelites and everybody else. Anybody else that got a whatever outside. I don't see nobody else that's saying love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice and uplifting a woman at the same time. I don't see that. I only see that with the more science. Islam.
I hear that. Yep. Next one. What is the biggest obstacle to unity today?
The biggest obstacle for unity today, I would say self-identification, like national identity.
Mm-hmm.
The national identity is the biggest obstacle because everybody else, whatever they talk about, they always say where they come from, and they got pride in where they come from. They got pride in what they call themselves: Asians, Australians, Europeans, Africans. They all got pride in saying where they come from. It's just us over here in North America, out Maghreb, Alaska. We just looking at it like this ain't our homeland. We got kidnapped and brought here, yada yada yada. But everybody still come here though. Everybody want to come to America, North America, the most. What you want to come here for? And meanwhile, the Moorish Americans that's from here, they want to leave here and go to Ghana or somewhere else, Europe or something. But at the same time, them foreigners, they all come here to make money. Like it's like hidden in plain sight. Islam.
Yeah, I would definitely come back off that with just emphasizing it. That once the people fell for the game, that it doesn't matter what they call themselves because their leaders told them that, the unity was done right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the world is dealing with unity through nationality. Why do we think that we're different? Why do we think because we're the ancient black gods of whatever that nationality doesn't apply to us?
Right.
Wildin'. You know what I mean? And again, it's only because of hype, because of their sellout leaders who they follow.
Yeah.
That push this idea that it doesn't matter. No matter what you call yourself, we can be whatever.
Hey, cool, Joe.
Being whatever proves that it doesn't work.
Is Islam. Cool, Joe. Is it true that old boy Farrakhan, he's part Bayesian? From the Bahamas, right?
Trini? Yeah, yo. He was a top calypso singer.
So he got connections and blood ties to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
You know what's interesting? Everybody that I know that's from the Caribbean, they rep where they come from. Like heavy. Like Belize, Trinidad, Cuba, Puerto Rico, INT, wherever it is, they rep it heavy. The Bahamas, they rep it, right?
Yep.
He come over here, and I've never seen him rep a Trinidadian flag.
Yeah, you can't.
See that?
Because play. So he's gonna kill the whole Nation of Islam game.
Ah.
Even
So
though they all know.
right. So it's interesting how we've never seen they talking about unity for the question. Why haven't we seen Farrakhan rep anything with Trinidad? And Trinidad is in the Americas. Why have we never seen him rep a Trinidadian flag? Interesting.
Very.
So he's never rep. I've never seen him rep where he comes from. Never. It's interesting
Remember,
though.
it's going back to that thing of what we were talking about earlier with the status.
Yeah.
The Trinidadian is the calypso singer guy.
Uh-huh.
Right? The violinist, the master orator.
Right.
All the things that he was before he became who he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if he would be using the same name if that was the case.
What was his name when he was a calypso singer?
The Charmer.
The Charmer. What? You can't make this up. You can't make this up, no. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up, man. The Charmer.
The Charmer.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He's charming Moorish Americans to give up their national identity to be a paint color that their skin don't match. You can't make that up.
Yep.
You can't make that up. Calypso, violinist, and a charmer. You didn't finesse the minds of Moorish Americans to think that they are paint colors, that their skin don't match. Where's the unity in giving up your national identity at? That just lets you know how far left they'll go to be a traitor.
They'll go far.
Man,
there's no
limit
to treason.
It's no limit to treason. I've never seen him rep his national flag for his country. So he's from the Caribbeans. Or his people from there.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. He's not no FBA and all that.
Wow. And it's interesting that he's from Trinidad. Wow. Nobody put him on blast before from there?
I mean, what they gonna say?
You know, hey, you got blood ties to this land, man. What's up? Why you never repping the Trinidadian flag? What's up with you? You know, he probably he gonna deny it because he don't want to get that black badge up. Right.
Yeah. What? See, the thing is that all of it is the same.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't no. He's Kits, Jamaican, Trinidadian, Bayesian. All of it is the same.
Right.
That's the mainland broken off.
Yeah. Islam.
It's the mainland broken off. Because even the little island thing that they play, that's a cultural thing. It's not really an island thing. It's really indigenous culture, really.
Yeah.
Going out there and picking the stuff from the yard, taking it inside to cook. That's indigenous culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
everybody.
The only thing that separates them is the dialects, the accent.
Right. And like
it's all the same.
And like the seasoning of the what they put on their food. That's it. They put All of the indigenous people, they go out, if they from Yard or whatever, they go out, they get what they're gonna get for dinner, lunch or whatever. And what might vary is they put a different seasoning on top of it, but it's still indigenous. Just like the ancient tools that we find all through the Americas, we find the same indigenous ancient tools from Argentina all the way up to the islands to Alaska. We find the same ancient indigenous tools. Interesting. To the Tainos and the Arawaks, we see the same indigenous ancient tools being used there. How come that didn't come over on no slave ship? That came over on a slave boat?
Exactly.
How did those ancient tools for cooking? How do they all get in the Americas? How did they get over here? If we wasn't already over here for hundreds of thousands of years, how'd they get here? So you talking the slave catchers? They found the time to grab all of the kitchen utensils and put them on the boat too. And they wouldn't grab the kitchen utensils thousands of years ago. Right. Okay.
They need those.
Yeah, they need them to cook with. Even though it wasn't no stove on no wooden slave ship, they somehow found kitchen tools. Okay.
Yeah.
The unity gonna come from us giving up that slave diaspora, that whole brought over here from Africa slave narrative. You gotta burn that. You gotta burn it. You gotta cremate that. You gotta throw that in the furnace. It's gotta die.
Yep.
Because you can't serve two masters.
So they keep trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, even though they know. Going back again. That's why he doesn't rep for his stuff. Because they know, everybody knows it's about the mainland.
Yeah.
The mainland is the hub.
Mm-hmm.
The mainland is where the milk and honey's at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the island is a vacation spot.
Yeah.
That's not home like that. Don't forget again. We were talking about the great earthquake.
Yeah.
Right. All those islands are the mainland.
Yeah. Real life.
Stop separating it. Making it like these separate things. It's really one. It's really one. There's the unity.
There's the unity. I mean,
once we say that it's really one, then now we gotta figure out, okay, well, what we gonna call it?
Right.
And you already know no flag is going past the 50,000 years.
No flag.
So why is it hard for us to be who we're supposed to be?
I mean, don't people find it strange how all of these alleged scientists, they got all this information from millions of years ago, but somehow they just fell off when it came to who was here first. It's like who was the real people that was here first originally? It always get real cloudy. I find it real strange how it always gets super cloudy when it comes to identity. But they clear as hell when it comes to Jurassic Park, though.
Yeah.
They got bones. They got what species it was, where it came from, what it used to eat, what characteristics it had. You know, they got all this. But when it comes to identity for the Americas, that's when it gets spooky. It get cloudy then. You know, that's when everybody get amnesia. Because they don't want to get a game up. Because they know once they say, all right, them indigenous people that was there, them ancient people, they look like carbon complexion, copper complexion. They look like dark skin. They look like swarthy. Okay, now the game over with.
Mhm.
Nah, the game is up. They don't want that, but they can't stop it nowhere. They just found pyramids in Louisiana. They they,
Again.
they just
Again.
found it. So now you got more pyramids in that's evidence in the Americas though. Well, what how much it don't even matter how much they want because it's gonna keep revealing itself. It don't matter. It's gonna keep revealing itself.
Straight. Oh, you're good. Let's
So
go. Oh, how's your time looking? You're good right now?
yeah, I'm cool.
All right. We got a couple more questions on here.
All right.
Can a rise in more Moorish obligations, unions, marriage assist with the upliftment of fallen humanity? I would say that most definitely, but
Mm-hmm.
it's back to that thing of the everybody knowing their position,
Yeah. There you go.
stepping up to the plate. If this is what we're claiming we want to do or has to be done,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
You know, it's the discipline and the accountability for me because you know what to add on to that more when I see like I just want to ask people when they see movies like 12 Years a Slave and they see movies like Kunta Kinte with Roots and all that, is it something inside of you that's like you really want to connect back with that and go with that story, even though the story is a complete fraud? Because you see, it's like interesting times right now, boy. Because I seen a clip yesterday where they got people in Libya that's enslaved right now, like literally hands behind their back, walking like slaves right now in Libya. But then I look at that's like a you know how they got like different like timelines. It's like time right now is like all being like if you got eyes to see, you can literally look at different timelines, but you're in real time though. So you can look at the past right now and see people in Libya enslaved right now. But then on the other side, you can look at modern times and then you can see the slave mentality of the lack of principles, like the lack of obligation to accountability. So women are out here walking around with bonnets on their fucking heads and they wearing robes to go outside in society. And to me, I look at that shit like, who raised you to think that it's appropriate for you to wear a hair bonnet outside and a bathrobe outside? Who raised you? Where's the accountability at with that shit? Like that's like that's like slave mentality in real time. We looking at women willingly just wear that on themselves, and they don't even care. It's like a different. It's like we watching literal like different time dimensions in real time. If you really got eyes to see it, like you really could see, like what's going on, man. Like, why would you want to? If they said and showed in these movies that slave women was wearing hair bonnets and bathrobes, why are you wearing that outside to go to Walmart to walk down the street? Why are you comfortable to portray an image if that's not you? If you're not a slave, and all in the movies they show women wearing that as what they wore as a slave. Why are women so comfortable wearing that today? It's interesting.
And
That
that,
shit is
and
interesting.
and that's how the obligations would assist.
Yeah,
Because if there was a competent man around that knew what was up, there wouldn't be the issue of the next generation suffering.
right,
The next generation suffering because whoever didn't do their job.
right. See, look, I don't even know if you can see that.
Right?
I don't even know if you can see it. Can you see it?
No, it's small.
Uh, it's crazy outside.
And
It's crazy outside, man. It's just,
and it is crazy. And honors to the ones who survived the obligation
yeah,
and still holding strong, still holding it
yeah,
together.
for real,
You know, because it's wild out
for real,
here.
man.
It's wild out here.
And then, Cool Joe,
Everything's needed. Everything's
and
needed.
and then how was the woman gonna get back in order if the man is out of order?
Right. Because he
It,
got the bonnet too.
he got a bonnet on. This is what I'm saying, more like how can you expect a woman to get in order if you got dudes wearing slave bonnets on their head outside? You can't expect law and order to come back, man, if obligations to principles and accountability is thrown out the window. It ain't gonna be no coming back to no unity because the father, the man, supposed to be the head of the household. But if you got a head bonnet on looking like a slave, why would a woman honor and respect what you talking about? Like, you can't say somebody is at fault and wrong if you at fault and you wrong. You got a goddamn hair bonnet on your head. You got your nails painted. Nigga, you got your toes painted. Matter of fact, you got her clothes on. That's a whole other story, though. How is she gonna expect to get herself together if the man ain't holding himself at a high standard on principles? Can't. You can't. It's like it's unharmonic. It's no harmony in that equation. It's total chaos. You know, they talking about unity and obligations. Fam, the fundamental, go back. If we talking about fundamentals, just like basketball, you got to go back to the fundamentals. You just got to go back to the fundamentals, man. Everybody today is like so entrenched with social media, they've completely forgotten, like distanced themselves away from the fundamentals. How you look when you go outside, how you speak when you speak to people, how you treat people.
The basics.
The basics. What kind of etiquette? You know what I'm saying? More like the basics. What is your etiquette? Do you know how to eat at the table if we went to a restaurant? Type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if they want to fix some unity, got to go back to the fundamentals. What is the fundamental? What is your free national name? Number one. It's number one. If you out here talking about you black, you an Indian person of color, you got to go back to class.
Need more than that.
Yeah, you gotta. Don't come outside, man. You gotta take a quiz or a test. You know, you gotta take a quiz or a test, man. Get your shit together. You know.
Yep. Another question right here. How did Drew Ali's teachings differ from the NOI?
Dude was a copycat. The NOI guy, he was a copycat. And he dishonorable because he took the teachings and didn't even explain the teachings. And he went against the teachings because of his ego and said, let me just do my own thing. I'm finna mark my fares up, right? I'm finna make a book called Message to the Black Men. That's just like, you ain't honor nothing with the teachings that you received. You just said, fuck it, I'm finna just do what I want to do. That's how I see it with dude. Like he just was like, man, look, man. The principles of more science is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. This guy, what kind of love you got for people if you telling them to identify with a dead status? What's up? Y'all good? Huh? All right, you need 40. You need 40 for a haircut. Yeah. Go on, get that 40 bar. All right. Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
funny as hell, man. That's Chicago shit, man. Regular shit. But yeah, more.
Yeah.
You know, we talking about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, man. We talking about ourself, law, and master. We talking about Noble Drew Ali, the prophet. This is what we talking about, man. We talking about a divine constitution. We talking about a literal picture of Noble Drew Ali holding the woman in his arms, bringing her out of the cares of the world, drowning herself to solid rock foundation, which is salvation. I haven't seen the NOI do any of that. Have you?
Nothing.
I don't see them picking a woman up out of the cares of the world. I don't see it. I ain't never seen it.
Especially
Never
when
seen it.
people got 8 baby moms and stuff like that talking about they're leaving
Man.
somebody somewhere.
Yeah. Like,
The hell out of here.
yeah, you got all these BMs the whole time. Noble Drew Ali, he told us that we could have what we have. But it's an honorable way to go about doing what we do. It's an honorable way.
That's how you know they lost. That's how you know they weren't about the honor.
Wasn't about the honor at all.
They weren't about the honor. If they were about the honor at all. If they were about the honor, and anybody try this out, just go look at them, take off their whatever they're wearing, and put some fezzes and turbans on them, and tell me if they're not Moors.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them, start saying L and B and let go of this X crap.
Yeah.
Give that up. Start saying El Bay and all that stuff, and tell me if they're not Moors in everything that they're doing, including having a prophet who they're going to say is Fard Muhammad, and that the messenger would be Elijah Muhammad, which is a replica of Drew Ali and Garvey.
Facts.
So
if they really was on something like their own, like they portrayed to have brought they quote unquote own, why is everything got a similarity with the Moor Science Temple? Why does everything got a similarity somehow, some form with Noble Drew Ali? The dude Fard Muhammad called himself the reincarnated Noble Drew Ali. They can't get past that part. If you really was on what you on, and you saying Allah anointed you, why would you call yourself the reincarnation of Noble Drew Ali? See, they right there is they dead in the water right there. They dead in the water. Did you hear Yahushua say he was the reincarnated anybody? Did you ever hear Confucius, Noble Drew Ali? Did you ever hear them or see in any literature say that they was the reincarnated somebody else's name? Show me the receipts. Because the last prophet, which is Noble Drew Ali, he wrote in his literature, he said he's the last one. He said he's all of them combined. That's what he wrote in the prophecies and hadiths. Said he was all of them combined, man, in one. He was strongest. So I don't understand how they don't understand.
Well, they
Why does Farah
understand.
Muhammad? I don't understand how they don't understand. I don't understand. Why Farah Muhammad say he was the? I mean, that's on record too, though. He said
Oh, even theirs.
he identified as the resurrection of Noble Ali. Why did he say that? That's on public record. So the difference is within the Noble Drew Ali's teaching was he taught people to be themselves. He didn't teach you to be a black man because he said that black, Negro, colored, and Indian, Ethiopian was sin. It's a sin. He wrote that in the Divine Warning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sin to identify as that. Sin. And so Noble Drew Ali was saying it's a sin to identify as Negro, black, colored, Indian, Ethiopian. It's a sin. And this dude, Farah Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, was saying to identify. So Noble Drew Ali is saying it's a sin to identify as something. And Farah Muhammad and Elijah, they telling you to identify as that.
Yeah, here it is right here.
Diabolical.
Here it is right here. This is their stuff, right?
Cue the music.
Allah came to us from the holy city of Mecca, Arabia, in 1930. He used the name Wallace D. Fard, often signed W.D. Fard in the third year, 1933. He signed his name W.F. Muhammad, which stands for Wallace Fard Muhammad. He came alone. He began teaching us the knowledge of ourselves, of God and the devil, of the measurement of the earth, of other planets, and of the civilization of some of the planets other than Earth. The part that we're going to go to, just so you know, he's talking about Fard Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I asked him, "Who are you? And what is your real name?" He said, "I am the one that the world has been expecting for the past 2,000 years. I said to him again, "What is your name?" He said, "My name is Mahdi. I am God. I came to guide you into the right path, that you may be successful and see the hereafter." He described the destruction of the world with bombs, poison gas, and finally the fire, that which would consume and destroy everything in the present world. And then they go on, talking about dreadful planes and bombs dropping and all this. Now, keep in mind, this is 1930, after Noble Drew Ali is already assassinated.
Right. After.
Anything that he taught them, they can say free and willy-nilly with nobody able to challenge their claims.
Right.
All that 2,000 years ago stuff, Drew Ali said that already in the 20s.
Exactly. Exactly. He already said that. So why didn't he, if dude felt like this, why didn't he say something when Noble Drew Ali was on the scene?
Right. That's the other part. Where was
See,
he?
they never addressed that.
Never.
Because he was alive.
Never.
So why didn't he pop out when Noble Drew Ali was on the scene? And say, whatever he said, whatever they got documented that he said, why didn't he pop out when the prophet was on the scene, though? They can never address that. And if they do, they always got a cop out. And he's still being redundant, saying shit that Noble Drew Ali already said.
Yeah.
Insane.
Insane.
Insane. He said, so he called himself God.
Yeah. He's the Mahdi. He's the Mahdi and he's God.
Oh my God.
He sent himself.
He sent himself.
He sent himself with
Delusion.
the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings to teach them that they're black Asiatics.
Oh my God. And Allah never identified man as the color or woman as the color. So he's going to override Allah and say he's the divine force and identify man and woman as black. So who was the divine force? If that's the case, who was the divine force that named the Europeans white people then?
Mhm.
Who named them that? Who, if he was a divine force and he superseded Allah, who was the person who said, so he was the one who said, who deemed them to be white people then, right? Yeah. Delusion, man. Delusion.
Violence.
Delusion. How come animals have nationalities? How come they got nationalities?
It's always our people playing around.
Just saying. If they really want to think about something, why do animals have nationalities too? German shepherds, American bulldogs, Mexican chihuahuas. Animals have nationalities. Why wouldn't so-called black people have the same? If animals got it, why wouldn't you have it? They got breeds, they got pedigrees, they got bloodlines, they got blood types. Why wouldn't so-called black people have the same thing? Because everybody else do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Moorish American, man.
Amor just sent me this one. Is Elijah Muhammad the offspring of Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey? By Nasir Makar Hakim. For the one who had the question about the connection, everybody's spoken about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was a question here too. How are they celebrating 250 years, but they told so-called Negroes and blacks that they were enslaved for 400 years?
That's a great question. That's a great question for all of the NAACP leaders, for all of the so-called black fraternities, for all of the so-called black organizations, the FBA, the NOI. That's for them to answer that. That's a great question for them to answer. For all of the black civil rights leaders, here you go. How y'all celebrating 250 years of America, but y'all claim y'all 400 years and y'all been enslaved 400 years? How's that work? How does that work? So 1 minute you was enslaved for 400 years with roots, but now you celebrating 250 years. So you just gonna take the time off the entire story on
Celebrating hard too.
Just going crazy. That's been the whole excuse. We've been enslaved for 400 years. We couldn't read for 400 years. But now, the 250th anniversary pop up on TV. Now everybody changed their story, right? The hell out of here, man. And it's crazy that people ain't even looked at, they ain't even blinked to think about that. They've been telling you you've been enslaved for 400 years. You got kidnapped and brought over here. But now the 250 have come up And ain't none of y'all reconsider your position and say, wait a minute, where y'all get 400 years we was enslaved from? What how did it go from 400 to 250? What happened?
Well, what happened?
What happened? Where that time go? Because it never happened. Oh, that's right. Ah, it never happened.
Somebody played you again.
Man, they just getting hit with combos, uppercuts, headbutts, Mike Tyson knockout, man. It's just how you keep getting hit with these same old goofy little combinations. It's like they be telegraphing what they finna do, and they still get Mike Tyson
Still
knocked.
get it. Yeah, still get it.
You still getting the Tyson, you still getting the Buster Douglas knockout. He did telegraph all of the punches, and you still getting caught with him right on the chin. Pink, 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 pink,
Doing
right
the
on the
doing the doing
pink,
the
pink.
helicopter with the one hand.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same Buster Douglas combinations. Bam, the one hand helicopter. He just throwing haymakers.
There's some more questions coming in the chat. What
For sure.
process did the prophet go through or not go through in proclaiming his nationality? Did he go through probate court, as probate courts have existed since the 1600s? I never
I
heard of
don't
a
know.
probate court anywhere with draw a
Yeah, yeah, I never heard or seen him write any literature about going to court for declaring his nationality.
Yeah.
Never. That is not in the National Proclamation for Moorish Americans. That's not in the Divine Warning. I've never seen that in the Divine Constitution either. That he went to court to declare nationality. No, sir.
Yeah.
Never seen that. But you got to look at the word proclaim, though. Just look for people that's out there, man. Look these words up. Like, look up the word proclaim and see read what that word means. Proclaim. Read that word. Declare. You just celebrated the Declaration of Independence. That's a declaration. They declared their independence. So when you look at the word declare and you look at the word proclaim, what is proclaim? Can you pull that up more so they can see it in the text? What
Islam,
is
yeah.
proclaim? They need to see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look up proclaim.
I'm about to get it up there right now.
Islam.
Proclaim, make known by public announcement, promulgate, especially by herald or crier. Late 14th century, proclamer, cry or call out.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, from per, forward, clamer to cry out, to shout. Spelling altered by influence of claim. Related, proclaimed, proclaiming, proclaimer. Proclamation, an act of making public, also that which is proclaimed. From Old French proclamation and directly from Late Latin proclamationem, a calling out,
Mm-hmm.
crying out. Noun of action of past participle stem to proclamer, cry or call out. See proclaim.
Mm. So to cry or to call out, proclaim. You know, which much as crying as people be doing for answers, or when something happens, as much crying as they do, how about crying out there for another way? How about proclaiming? your nationality, because you crying for justice. Last time I checked, justice involves law. So if you crying out, why you ain't proclaiming? All the injustices that be happening with so-called black people who are really Moorish Americans, you stuck in a dead status. So, but you crying, you proclaiming the wrong thing though. You proclaiming the wrong thing. You proclaiming so-called black people. They out here proclaiming for justice, but they don't understand you can't receive justice if you coming from a dead place. You crying and can't nobody do nothing for you. It's like a baby that's crying because their lollipop got took. So it's like people are grown adults, but with the mentalities like children. So they're like, man, you took my stuff. I want justice. So it's like they go from this is what we talking about the minority mentality. So you a whole adult physically, but mentally, the mind is in a minority mindset. So you think like since you an adult, you look like an adult, your physical is an adult, but you crying like a child because you like, man, I want justice, but you're not conducting yourself as an adult, exercising your rights. You're not exercising your birthrights because somebody take your stuff and then you like, I want justice. You took my stuff. But it's like you start crying like a baby though. Instead of like strategizing, how do I prevent this person from taking my stuff? That part. We see it every day, man. We see this shit every day. Like people be whole adults. But then when something happen, they start crying, calling for their mama. Mama! Help me! And it's like, damn, you got the law on your side, but they not putting it together like, fam, it's your birthrights to use this law. And they'll be like, nah, it's the white man. See, now you in the booby trap.
Just put your foot in it.
And then what they do, they be acting like crocodiles. They do a death roll. Soon as they start crying and shit, talking about it's the white man, them Europeans, they do a death roll. They clamp on to you, and then you start talking all this color racist shit and all that other shit. They do a death roll right on you. They get your foot, they death roll you, and they keep spinning you around, taking chunks off. Crocodiles, man, death rolls. That's what they be on. That's what they be on. Man, it's time to start slaying the dragon, man. For real.
For real.
It's time to start slaying the dragon, man. I mean, we watch movies about it all the time. It's time to start slaying the dragons, man. Slaying the vampires. Like using the greatest gift that we got. And that's the mind. The mind, man. The mind. The spiritual mind, the spiritual self. The mind. You know, you can lift all the weights up that you want to. But if your mind is a minority, you ain't got a shot.
Still weak.
You're still weak. You can lift the whole gym up. If your mind is a minority status mentally, it don't matter how much weight you lift, because it's always gonna be somebody smarter than you or can outsmart you. Cause you ain't went to the gym up here. That's why I say, like, they talking about unity more. Our people need to go in the gym, man. Up here. Get this strong again. You know,
they're wilding. They're wilding right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, that's a
Can't read a little sentence and all this. They're wild.
man. One sentence?
They're wild.
You can't read it. I seen this dude walking around showing people. He said, count the syllables. That's it. That's all he said. He'd show them a word, and he said, count the syllables. They can't do it. They don't even know what a syllable is. I'm talking about it was Europeans, it was Moors on, like it was so-called black people on there, Europeans on there, Asians on there. It's like the No Child Left Behind project, man. That didn't hit hard, man.
Remember, that's all the clickbait stuff too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's once I seen Crisis Cast, everybody's a paid actor.
Yeah.
Everybody's a paid actor.
Yeah. You know if they real or not. You know.
Yeah.
You know if they real. Like if they can't read a sentence, or they go to a high school and the high schoolers, the middle schoolers, they can't read a sentence. No, there's something wrong with that, man. It's what chance you got if you can't put a sentence together? How you gonna be able to articulate anything? You know, you can't put a, and then on top of that, the emotionalism is so high right now. It's like, where is your emotional regulation at? Everything ain't got to be an explosive, situation. It's it's like emotional maturity is like in the toilet right now with adult stuff. Like you supposed to be a grown old age, and your emotional regulation and emotional maturity is in the toilet, fam. First thing they want to do is they want to fight, argue, cuss you out. And it's like, gee, we just having a conversation. But hey, that's what they talking about. You got to get back to the user. Go to the gym up here in the mind. Strengthen the mind up again.
Study.
Study, man. Do some pull-ups with your mind, reading some books or something, man. Put Chat GPT down.
Yeah, looks like get some books in you.
Yeah, get some books, man. Read a couple chapters every day. Read it. Go to the bench press. Pick up a book. Get a couple, you know what I'm saying? Couple sets in or something, man. Every day. Do that. Get some squats in with the books. Read something. Strengthen the mind up.
Man, how did Drew Ali's movement set the stage for the 5% Nation street teachings? Remember, all of them say that they're nation. Where they get this brilliant idea of nation from?
Right. How you gonna be a nation and you ain't got no citizenship?
The brilliant idea of nation came from Noble Drew Ali.
Right.
The brilliant idea of practice Islam, whatever form of it, in America.
Yeah.
Is because of Noble Drew Ali.
Facts.
Well, why is it so hard to give him his honors? It's so hard.
Yeah, because when you look at the divine warning, Noble Drew Ali laid out flat. He said everybody had to proclaim, man, where they came from. The Turks, English, everybody had to say something about where they came from. And none of these sellout black misleaders speak on that. None of them. So in order to be a nation, you got to have citizenship. Members, contrary to popular opinion, are not nations. You could be a member of a fight club. That don't mean it's a nation. You could be a member of fantasy football. That don't mean you a nation though. You just a member. You pay a membership. That don't mean you a nation though. You ain't got no national flag. You ain't got a treaty with no other nations. Nations got languages. It's a national language. Like, if you ain't got a national language, how you a nation? How's you a nation? What's the national language of the 5% nation? What's their national language? What's what's the national language of Pan Africans? What's the
Non-existent.
national? It don't exist. So what's the national language of Indians? Oh, it don't exist, man. It's no national language for black, for white, for brown, for green, orange. Those are not national languages. It don't exist. So therefore, they can never be a nation. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you talking about the cartoon world, and you talking about the Fire Nation, you feel me? If you talking about, you know what I'm saying, the Water Nation, you know, if you want some airbender shit, cool. You know, if you on that type of time, you know, the metal nation, and if you on that type of time, you know, the Earth Nation, you know, but that's a cartoon though. That's not real life. That's not reality though. That's just a cartoon. You know? Islam.
Islam. I think this is the last one right here. The slavery ended 1860s minus 400 years is 1400s. So are people claiming the United Kingdoms of Isabella and Ferdinand are American? They're trying.
They definitely trying.
Everybody's making a claim. Everybody's making a claim. The only individuals in the dark are our people.
Yeah.
Everybody realizes, oh, well, claim something.
Claim something.
People are claiming color. People are making assumption and claiming. People are making any type of claim that they can. And our people sitting around still can't figure this thing out yet. And it's their birthright.
It's their birthright.
It's theirs.
Everybody
they have a clear claim, and they don't want to claim that, but claim everything.
Everybody trying to claim the birthright that the Moorish Americans already got. Everybody trying to put their bid in for the claim. Everybody trying to put their bid in for the claim to this land right here.
It is the greatest game ever.
You know, and the Moors that's here, that's Moorish American, they so busy being entertained, fighting each other, beating each other up, trying to get likes and clicks and views. They don't see the game.
Losing it.
That Zeus Network shit, terrible. They got chicks on there. They got women on there who get paid to just brawl out. Meanwhile, foreigners coming over here making claims on the land that's your birthright. Diabolical. You getting paid to be on a network that's showing you at your lowest self. Drinking, fighting, smoking, hookahs and shit to make yourself look like the worst of the worst, like a straight animal. And they signing up for it though, because they want some fortune and fame. They want 15 minutes of fame. So they signing themselves up to get on some network that's making them look like complete animals. Because that's what they want. They want our women and our men to look like straight animals. So it justifies, in their eyes, how they supposed to treat our people. Mm-hmm. That's what they are. In their eyes, when they see us acting like animals and shit on TV and on these social media networks, in their eyes, it's justified for us to be treated as the bottom of the bottom instead of the top of the top, which is who we really are as Moors. They talking about, man. You seen that shit, Cujo?
Say again?
You seen that shit?
Mm-mm.
They got on that Zeus network, like they show little clips on
No,
IG,
no.
bro.
I never
Boy,
heard of this word before.
they got some of the most vile, disgusting, just insidious type behavior.
Is it
Women is
music?
on there, they on there with bonnets on their head again, the fucking bonnets, swinging haymakers, doing the helicopter. They doing the helicopter and shit, and fighting each other instead of like, man, we need to link up. We need to stop this self hatred that we got for each other, man, and let's link up and really own our shit again. Nah, just give them some more alcohol. Pull up a little bit more. Light that hookah up.
Mhm.
And then y'all, we gonna start some drama in here, and then we gonna watch y'all tear each other up. Throwing chairs and shit, throwing champagne glasses, throwing furniture, all type of wild shit. Shit is sick, man. It's really like disgusting how people will sell out for that green piece of paper and do anything.
Hmm.
Do anything for 15 minutes of fame. Like, don't you know this? Don't you know the internet is forever, man?
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha. Don't you know the internet is forever? You know, one day somebody gonna recognize your ass on that thing, man. One day, if you was out here looking like that and acting like that, somebody gonna peep and recognize. Hey, that look like that is your ass. Yeah,
Mhm.
toe up,
Straight.
man. But you know, one day at a time, man.
One day at a time. You already
One
know,
day at a
man.
time.
Been on here for
Yes,
2
sir.
hours. Time goes when you're having fun, boy.
2 hours already? Wow,
Wow.
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Time flies when you having fun, though.
Yo, it does. The best times.
Time flies.
Yeah. Yeah, yo.
Hey, did y'all
Yo.
get hit with that? Did y'all get hit with that smog up there in Canaanland?
Yeah, it was up the it wasn't too far. But yeah, we got some. We got some couple days. There was probably
Yeah,
two two 2 days where it was really you could really see it. You couldn't really smell it too much, which was kind of weird because they were talking about, oh yeah, you're gonna, but I didn't smell anything any of the times. I just saw,
right,
you know what I mean.
right.
And then by Saturday, we were outside again. People were
Okay.
normal, you know what I mean, normal enough,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Um,
hell yeah.
but
Yeah, that shit
I
crazy.
never seen that happen with forest fires before. They've been forest fires around here, and probably maybe twice in my lifetime.
Mm,
I remember smelling smoke outside. Go outside and you're smelling smoke like, wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's
But
crazy. It ain't gonna work, man. Whatever they trying to do, it ain't gonna work.
yeah,
It ain't gonna work. We just gotta clean our act up, man. As a whole, we gotta clean our shit up.
sure.
Stop the self hatred, man. That self hatred that's a killer. That is a killer. Why do our people hate themselves so much?
Yo, it's just what it is, yo.
It's a
You
killer.
know, you have no profit. You're gonna be a victim.
Yeah, for
You know,
real. All of the profits came to the people that was in the trenches. I don't know if people put that together. All of the profits came to the people that was in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. They came to the people that was in the trenches.
The poor, the meek.
Yep. And that's been us in the trenches. All of us. Man, that should be a direct connection. Like, man, yeah, all of the prophets, they did come to the trenches. Yahushua, he was in the trenches. Buddha was in the trenches. Muhammad was in the trenches. Noble Drew Ali was in the trenches. He was out here in Chicago. He was out there in New Jersey in the trenches. Went out there to Cuba. Eh?
Yep. What you saying for time over there?
What's up?
What you saying for your time?
I got about 10 minutes.
All right, let's try to hit these two last questions right here.
All right, for sure.
I've been wondering, y'all out here traveling without licenses and not getting taxed at work? Not me. There's colonization. They're still getting their little tax. And I haven't had a conveyance in probably about 10 years. Because I ain't giving these people no insurance and all that stuff. That's
right.
I'm gonna jump on the transit and get where I'm going. Leave an hour early.
Right.
I'll see you over there. Or get a ride or something like that. But we did all those right to travel stuff, lost cars and all that stuff like that. Highwaymen just being jerks.
Yeah.
There's certain jurisdictions you can do it. There's certain jurisdictions where Moors don't have any issues.
Yeah.
There's some city jurisdictions as well. But
I don't think people really understand what the term of colonization and like prisoners of war really mean, more. Like, the reason why these people can enforce these unconstitutional statutes, codes, and regulations is because we, the people, are not revolting. That's how they're able to do it. And they use our people as guard dogs and security guards for the corporation. So the numbers are us, we the people, but the people's their concepts got to be cleared up. Mm-hmm. The only reason you need a license, you don't need anything. But the only reason we are forced to have that instrument, which is unconstitutional, is because we, the people, are not enforcing Constitution. So the people who are enforcing unconstitutional statutes, they know this. So they get our people who want to be guard dogs, police, 12, you want to be state troopers and all this other shit. You are really working for the corporation as a slave patrol, as a slave catcher. And the people that you enslaving is your own people. But they not looking at it like that. They looking at it like, we need to get a license. And if we don't have a license, we gonna get locked up. You don't need a license. If you are operating like you're supposed to operate with law, you don't need a license. Nobody need a license. But we are forced to get this stuff because we are under occupation. We are under occupation right now from a foreign jurisdiction called the U.S. corporation. So the Moors and the nationals of this land, we are forced to get these instruments, not because we want to, or we go to work and they like, hey, you need to produce some kind of, a license or something like that. Fam, we under occupation from foreign jurisdiction that does not supposed to be functioning over here, but it's strength in numbers though. So these people that's in this corporation, they just like shit. The Moorish Americans, they don't know they Moorish Americans. They still thinking they black. So we just gonna hire their own people to enslave them and keep them under control. Get a license, get insurance, get a registration. That's what they doing, fam. It ain't like nobody. If you nobody can be forced to do something they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But these people are using our people because our people have not got the information, the knowledge of self and identity. So they're using our people to enslave our own people. Slave patrol. Them operations ain't never stopped.
Same game, different time. And
Islam.
last question. What gives Moors right to the land now called America over quote unquote American Indians?
There's no such thing as an American Indian.
Simple as that.
What are you talking about? American
Simple as
Indian.
that.
There's no such thing as an American. What do you mean give somebody the right? What you mean? Give somebody the right. The name America got the word more in it. What is you talking about? The word America got the word more inside of the word America, fam. So how you gonna say do Moors have the right when the name is our name? The name of the land is in our name, Moorish American. So anybody else who ain't a Moorish American, you ain't got first claim over here. Simple as that. I can't go to China and say, "Hey, I'm American. I'm taking my spot over here in China." No, sir. It don't work like I can't go to Europe and say, "I'm an American. I'm taking what you got over here." Nah, nah. Not a
And,
national over there.
and
You know what I'm saying?
just how everything's 360, we started talking about America and Morocco.
Oh yeah?
Start talking about America and Morocco. And
Yes, sir.
we wanted to bring this up too with regard to America being Morocco. How come the Treaty of Peace and Friendship wasn't done with some American Indian tribe? Why was
Facts.
it done with Morocco for land in America?
Mic drop. There's a mic drop.
Why isn't it the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with the American Indians?
Mic drop.
Islam, more give thanks for finding some time. I know how it goes. I know how it goes over there.
Yeah. You know. I mean, you just shut it down right there with the mic drop. So it's over with.
We're good. We're good.
It's over with. You just fried them with that. Fried. Ain't no Indian. Just for the ones out there that's stuck in this Indian thing, think about this, man. Everybody in the world claims a land, and the name of the land identifies with the name they identify as themselves. Simple as that. It's simple. If your name that you identify as does not match the name of the land underneath your feet, it's artificial. GMO.
Something's going on.
That should be your first indicator of something going on. It's not lining up. Yeah. You telling me that Chinese people come from China and it's a country called China inside of a continent called Asia. Cool. Japanese people come from Japan. It's a country called Japan. Australians come from Australia. It's a continent. Where do Indians come from? America? The name don't match. The name don't match. So how can you come from America and the name don't match? The name don't match. It's a mismatch. That's a mismatch. The fire alarm should go off. That's a mismatch. That's a mismatch. Indian? You say you an Indian, but you in America? No, no. That's the same thing as these Europeans over here talking about. I'm a European American. No, sir. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. How you a European American? What is that? No, no. I'm an American European. That shit that shit goofy as hell. You an American European. You're an American African. What? You're an American Australian. Goof ass. So you an American African, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Too much.
Hell no. It's too much, man. It just don't it's just too much. At some point in the time you just gotta give it up. You just gotta just knock it off, man. Just knock it off. Just come on home to the place that you come from. Your grandmama, your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your granddaddy, them, your great grandmama, great granddaddy. If they all from the Americas, then they could be from nowhere else. They from here. We the only ones that could say that. We from here. We're not from Africa, fam. Africa means the world terrain. West of Africa is over here. The Americas, Al Maghrib, Morocco.
And the only thing that's Africa is really North Africa.
Exactly. Oh my God. That's crazy. Yes, sir.
As usual.
Yeah,
Honors
you know,
all
we
the
gotta
ones
cook
in the
'em.
chat. Honors, yo. Yeah, you know, they have to get a little cooking.
Yeah, gotta give them some cooking, man.
Let's go get some cooking right now.
Yeah, for sure, man. Gotta give them some cook. Peace, man. We gotta give them some cook up, man. Yeah.
Give thanks. Honors to Noble Drew Ali.
Yes, sir. Noble Drew Ali the Prophet.
Honors to all Moors worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Supreme honors. Give thanks,
Respect.
brother Chris Day. And don't
Yes,
forget,
sir. Respect.
get our books, khalifamedia.com, canaanlandmoors.online.
Yeah,
Get our
tap
books.
in. Definitely tap in. khalifamedia.com. I don't know where y'all been at, but you better find that location. khalifamedia.com. Go there, add the books to your cart. All on fire. Load up, man. Because if we don't do it, who gonna do it? If we don't all do it, who gonna do it, man? We gotta all do it. We gotta all do it. We gotta all be accountable.
And RV Bay online and Moorishness.com. And just go support something.
Yeah, go support, man. Yeah, go support, man. Y'all be buying all this designer shit. Damn, they don't even care about
teeth and shit.
Yeah, crazy. Support your own, man. Support the home team. Support the home team, man.
Straight up.
Morocco, long live the empire.
Long live the empire. Islam.
Islam, Moors.